To be a Steeler is to consider others before you consider yourself. To protect your brother, even from himself. To give support at your own expense. And when wearing the black and gold suit of armor, make sure nobody desecrates it, disrespects it. Most importantly, we ourselves don't dishonor it. Approval from previous legends who have donned the black and gold. These virtues I learned while playing for the Steelers are what make the legacy of the black and gold timeless. They are passed down in the locker room from the steel curtain to anyone who valiantly wears the black and gold. Creating a brotherhood that is deeper than money, business, and winning. To be a Steeler is to consider others before you consider yourself. This is our culture, Steeler culture.
Now, here are your hosts, Rob and Dan, the Steel Twins.
Steelers Nation, what is going on, man? How you guys doing the offseason? Unfortunately, it's the offseason.
Yeah, just about a week ago.
Just about
it hit the offseason for the Steelers as we unfortunately lost to the Bills. I hate to mention it, but it happened.
It's the start of a very long offseason, but we already got some Steelers news to look forward to, man, as the Steelers offensive coordinator search begins this week with some news, some OC news, finally, on who the Steelers are looking to interview or who they've requested to interview or who they might be interested to take over that open, vacant offensive coordinator position, man. We got a lot to talk about today, mostly, and pretty much all of it surrounding the Steelers coaching staff. We could see some changes, and not just OC, but other positions offensively, which I think we can all vouch for.
Yes.
The entire offensive scheme needs revamped.
Yeah.
But there's also talks there might be an extension for our defensive coordinator, Terrell Austin. We'll talk about that. There's a lot that was kind of broke today in terms of news, and it all surrounded the Steelers coaching staff. So we got a lot to talk about here on episode 42 of the Steelers Culture Podcast. So
big time, big time.
We want to thank you guys for joining us tonight on episode 42 of the Steelers Culture Podcast. And we're going to get into a lot of it here for all the news surrounding the OC position and what other names they could bring in and our thoughts and opinions on everything. But yeah, I mean, it's the offseason for the Steelers, but the playoffs are running wild, man. We already got the conference championship set for Sunday. It's going to be an exciting day.
Yes, it is.
And unfortunately, the Baltimore Ravens are still alive.
Yeah, the Ravens are in it. They're actually going to be hosting it in Baltimore.
I know.
They're hosting the Kansas City Chiefs, just the perfect AFC championship game for everybody. Am I right?
I'm going to be incredibly unengaged with that game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But we do have a great NFC championship matchup to look forward to. We got the Detroit Lions in their second ever appearance in the NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers.
I think we're all honorary Lions fans this year.
Let me just say this, all right? Let me just say this. I hope an NFC team wins the Super Bowl.
I couldn't agree more.
That's all I care about.
I couldn't agree more.
If the Ravens don't make it to the Super Bowl, cool, but I don't really want to see the Chiefs win it. All right, I'm getting tired of the Taylor Swift era.
I know.
This year in Kansas City. So as long as an NFC team overall wins the Super Bowl, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, but it's been a fun time watching the playoffs. Outside of the Steelers, obviously, but yeah, I mean we're in for a wild conference Sunday this Sunday, man. So it's gonna be an enjoyable one. Unfortunately, I just gotta say this before we get into the discussion. I think the Ravens are going all the way. And I hope they don't win it.
No, man, no.
That's just my instinct. I don't trust the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't as threatening, and the Ravens are legit.
No, I do agree. I agree that the Chiefs aren't as threatening. This would be Lamar Jackson's first appearance in an AFC Championship game. He hasn't been to the AFC Championship game in a while, almost 10 years, actually. Mm-hmm. So, the pressure could definitely hit them. This is no stranger for Mahomes and company and the Chiefs. I mean, every single season, he's been the starter. They've been the AFC Championship game. So Mahomes knows the pressure. He knows the experience, but he has lost in AFC Championship games before.
I know.
So it could go either way.
I just don't trust the Chiefs. I don't view them as
it's really hard. They nearly lost. Not to say that Buffalo's a bad team, but there were so many other opportunities for Buffalo to have won that game on Sunday night. And Buffalo just failed.
They can never get it done. But the Ravens, with what they've had since Harbaugh, since Lamar, couldn't get it done. But I have a bad feeling that they will get it done. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping we get a Chiefs-Lions matchup. But regardless, we're all honorary Lions fans. So
it's just a great story over there in Detroit.
It is.
Campbell and Goff.
See, I wish we could keep previewing a Steelers AFC Championship game, but we're not. No, that's not going to happen for a long time. It's not. Not even with who they might add at OC. Because I got a lot to say about the OC position, including some of the guys they brought in. Let's just get right into it. The Steelers open vacant offensive coordinator search starts this week. And the first name that was brought into that discussion, who the Steelers have requested to interview, is Zac Robinson of the Rams from Sean McVay's coaching tree. He is the Rams passing game coordinator, as well as their quarterback coach, which is kind of along the lines of what Mike Tomlin wants in his future offensive coordinator or in his new offensive coordinator.
Yes, that type of position that he's looking for. Someone that can help with the passing attack, the passing game, that is quarterback friendly.
Yes.
Somebody that can work with Kenny Pickett.
And he's from the McVay coaching tree, which is one of the more popular, one of the more recommended areas you want to get your next guy.
Yeah.
It's just, you look around the league, it's just the most successful. And you look at McVay's coaching tree, Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur, Zach Taylor was the quarterback coach before becoming the Bengals.
It's funny you mentioned that with Zach Taylor, because Zach Taylor was the QB coach under McVay before he left for Cincinnati. Zac Robinson was brought in after Zach Taylor left in 2019.
That's how he started his coaching career.
Yes, absolutely. So he's been with the Rams since 2019, and he's been a variety of coaches for them around the offense. He's been an assistant quarterbacks coach. He was an assistant wide receivers coach. He went back to assistant quarterback coach before he became the passing game coordinator in 2022.
Right.
So,
and you notice he's been working with some elite talent over there in Los Angeles.
Big time.
So
elite talent. Stafford, Kupp, Allen Robinson was a part of that too for a little bit.
So, but you do notice he does not have offensive coordinator experience, which is something Tomlin noted in his postseason press conference, that he wants someone with OC experience. He did not say that's a requirement. Keep that in mind. That is just preference.
Yeah.
He would like someone with prior OC experience, but that does not mean he's going to automatically grab someone with OC experience. Their first name they're brought in is Zac Robinson, who doesn't have OC experience, but that is nothing to shy away from. That's nothing to be worried about, because you look at some of the more successful OCs earlier this year, just this year alone. You look at Bobby Slowick. He was a pass game coordinator under Shanahan's coaching tree last year. You look at Ben Johnson. He was the pass game coordinator for the Lions before switching to OC under Dan Campbell. So that's just how these guys are working nowadays. They're working in the passing game system as coordinators, supporting that factor, and then promoting eventually, whether it's in their system or elsewhere, as offensive coordinators. And recently, it's been very successful for them. and they've been under some very good coaching trees. And the Steelers are trying to kind of pry the same method from McVay's coaching tree.
As they absolutely should. You know, that seems to be the trend going on in the NFL to acquire a coach like that. And you got to bet with the type of work that Robinson has been putting in under McVay, being under that tree, he would absolutely want an opportunity to get a offensive coordinator job.
And there's no doubt in my mind he's going to get one because he's already had a couple interviews for the OC position. He interviewed for the Bears a couple days ago before they eventually settled and finalized with Shane Waldron as OC. So that option, which is probably at the top of our list and everyone's list, was gone. He's gone now. Bears settled for Shane Waldron, but they did interview Zac Robinson. Zac Robinson earlier today interviewed for the Patriots. Now, there's no confirmed deal. There's no confirmed finalization on that position, but you do notice not only did the Steelers request an interview, so did the Raiders, who now settle with Antonio Pierce as their head coach. And he's kind of changing that culture, that vibe.
Yeah.
You see the players and their desire to play for him, and they were all vouching for him to be the head coach. Now it's going to be up to him to surround himself with proper coordinators to build up the Raiders again, and they're going to need a quarterback, as do the Patriots. So those two teams that are in the running for Zac Robinson, they are going to need quarterbacks. The Patriots hold the 3rd overall pick. They are most definitely taking a quarterback.
Yeah,
that is no question.
No doubt.
The Raiders, they're not sticking with Jimmy G. They're not sticking with Aiden O'Connell. They're probably going to be in the quarterback search as well. The Pittsburgh Steelers, like it or not, which we don't, they are going to stick with Kenny Pickett. Tomlin has confirmed that. Do not expect any crazy trades or crazy signings or a big signing or a big name signing or a big name addition to the quarterback position. It's not happening. Tomlin is hell-bent on staying with Kenny Pickett and bringing in competition.
Yeah. Tomlin expressed his full confidence in Kenny Pickett. Even with the quarterback competition that Kenny's expected to get, he expressed his full confidence in Kenny Pickett.
He's in a very, very, very select group there.
I would suppose.
I'll just put it that way.
I would assume.
But you notice the Raiders and the Patriots are going to be in search for a quarterback, while the Steelers are sticking with Kenny Pickett, and it doesn't sound that intriguing for any OC or any up-and-coming OC to want to be with the Steelers if they're going to stick with a guy like Kenny Pickett. It just doesn't come off as intriguing. It doesn't come off as, hey, let me go over there and work with this guy. Because let's be honest, Kenny Pickett, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. He's going to need a new quarterback coach. He's going to need some proper development. He's going to have to sit. That's my feeling with Kenny. He's going to have to sit. But does any coordinator, specifically a Zac Robinson, want to come to the Steelers and settle with Kenny Pickett? Would they want to do that?
Yeah.
That's a rough position to be in. Now, we already know the Steelers are going to be run heavy. So they already know that. But we also got to get a passing game going. We got to get going with the waves of change, right? The modern times of the NFL.
I mean, just look at look at the playoffs, for example.
Exactly.
Look at the playoffs. You see what Mahomes is doing and Josh Allen and Jared Goff. I mean, like, the way to go, the way to
Baker
stay
Mayfield,
in Jesus Christ.
Jordan Love.
The way to go in today's NFL and the playoffs to get to a Super Bowl is to have an aggressive passing attack.
Which we don't.
Kenny is not
and
that.
Let me be yes, Kenny is not that guy. Is any OC going to want to come to the Steelers when they know that Kenny is going to be the guy they're going to have to work with? It's a tough situation to be in. You could consider it career suicide, honestly. I'm not trying to be over dramatic here.
But quite honestly, can they get that out of Kenny?
That's a challenge they want to accept.
If they want to accept, compared to...
Now, granted, it's not just Kenny they have to work with. You got to look at the talent they're working with.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Some of the best talent that you could ask for a football team. The best run game, one of the best run games. You got crazy targets that are incredibly underutilized. So it's not all bad. But it does start with the quarterback.
I mean, if you don't have the quarterback that can get it to said targets, said talent, then there's only so far you can go. There's only so much yardage and execution that you can do on the football field.
Right.
You know, compared to the Raiders and Patriots situation, yes, they're going to need legit new quarterbacks. Like, they're going to be looking at the quarterback process, the quarterback draft class heavily.
Yeah.
They got the picks to do so, especially with the new coaches that they got. With a guy like Zac Robinson, for example, for him to potentially, looking at the Steelers situation with Kenny Pickett and how he hasn't really lived up to that first-round pedigree.
He hasn't jumped into anything, let's be honest.
No, he hasn't.
He has not.
You know, does he want to work with that when he hasn't really shown any progress compared to, say, he does want to go for the Raiders, for example, right? And they draft a rookie quarterback. That's a project that would probably sound much more fulfilling or exciting to work with compared to what Kenny has shown.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or maybe he does elect to go with the Patriots, and they could get like a Drake May or a Jaden Daniels, and they got Gerald Mayo as the head coach. It's a new scenery. It's a new era over there in New England. Maybe he wants to start his offensive coordinator experience in that type of environment, in that type of scene, knowing he's going to get a new quarterback and surround the team and build the quarterback with him, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that could be he wants to experiment with. But also, yes, if he comes to Pittsburgh, to me it sounds like the least intriguing option. I might be in a select group there, but working with Kenny. Now, it's not just Kenny. They're going to bring in competition. They want to retain Mason. It's likely Mason could be back, but we don't truly know. We don't. With Mason, I feel like we have a stronger air attack. We have a better air attack.
Yeah, no question about it.
We got a decent chance.
There's
at an
no
air
question
attack.
about it. The 3 games in the regular season
again,
showcase that.
But there's no guarantee Mason's going to be back.
There is no guarantee.
There's
a very, I would say, a very slim chance that he does decide to walk and go to, say, the Patriots.
Right.
Or whoever team, right?
Yeah, I could see it.
Just whatever. If he wants to be, if he wants to take a chance on himself, to which he absolutely could.
Right.
He can do it.
Yeah. But what we're pretty much saying is Zac Robinson has many offers to be an OC. And, you know, McVay has had a lot of guys that's come out from his system to be OCs or be head coaches. I mean, just last year, Thomas Brown, their assistant head coach and tight ends coach, is now the OC for the Panthers. He was someone we vouched for last year.
Yeah.
And you see, like, he's still breeding names out of his coaching tree. And Zac Robinson's going to be the next guy out there. And I think wherever he goes, he's going to be a fine addition to any offense and to any coaching staff or any passing attack out there that wants to improve that position. For the Steelers, I would be ecstatic with a guy like Zac Robinson, because someone from that coaching tree, soaking up that knowledge, someone that young, is exactly what we need. It's actually, it would be a step in the right direction. And in fact, I'm very surprised. And I love the fact that the Steelers are going out of their way and going after guys like that. That's kind of out their comfort zone. They like to stay very standard or below the level, or go after just kind of the guys that you wouldn't expect, or the guys that you would truly expect the Steelers to grab, which is the guys that haven't been in the position in a long time, or guys that are just trying to get back into the league. Guys like that. Guys like a Kliff Kingsbury, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, Kliff Kingsbury is out of left field for the Steelers, but it kind of feels like it'd be one of those Steelers signings, as it's someone that's trying to get back into the NFL. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you loud and clear.
It's just, it comes off as one of those guys where, hey, let's snag this guy because, you know, we could get a better option. We can get a hot top option, you know, from a McVay or from a Shanahan coaching tree, but they might get better offers elsewhere. They might have opportunities elsewhere. I don't know if they're going to work with us and Kenny Pickett. Let's bring in someone that hasn't been in the league in a while or trying to get back into the league to give him that opportunity there. That's what I feel like the Steelers are going to have to settle for. Unless, of course, I'm proven wrong, which I hope I am.
Yeah.
And maybe a guy like Zac Robinson wants to come in as the OC.
Yeah, because people like Zac Robinson coming from those coaching trees, or the type of people and coaches Steelers need to be aggressive in trying to acquire and obtain.
Yeah.
And Mike Tomlin, I know for a fact he knows that. This is a huge and an important and a big offseason for Mike Tomlin the offense and the coaches.
He has to strike this OC job. He does.
He needs to. He absolutely needs to nail it.
But then again, I bring it up again. The whole Kenny Pickett thing. What OC is going to want to come to the Steelers when they know they're going to have to deal with Kenny Pickett?
Could Zac Robinson be looking at the situation and be like, I don't know if I want to work with that. Maybe I want to go to over here to this team and work with this guy that I can work as a project and build.
Or maybe he just wants a chance at the opportunity.
That's also a possibility.
You also look at it. I mean, it's overstated. I'm not going to lie to you, but it does come off as true. There's a lot of players and there's a lot of coaches that want to work under a guy like Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things. So that might intrigue him to want to come to Pittsburgh. Now, again, the Steelers haven't interviewed him yet, but there's a request to interview him, and I'm sure they're going to definitely bring him in and listen to his designs or his options or his creativity or what he wants to bring to the offense.
Yeah.
So, nonetheless, Zach Taylor would definitely be
Zac Robinson.
Zac Robinson would be a great option. He'd be an upgrade, and I think he'd be one of the a home run hit for the Steelers' offense coordinator position because it's exactly what the Steelers need. It's exactly that. It's the step in the right direction they have to make. And them being interested in a guy like this gives me a little hope that they could grab someone like that. Because it's what they need to do.
And I don't think that this is the last guy from that coaching tree that they're going to want to look to try to interview and bring in.
No.
As it shouldn't.
No, because if they're interested in this guy, they're definitely going to be interested in more of McVay's projects or other guys that have come from McVay's coaching tree and looking at their coaching staffs, and especially Kyle Shanahan's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that'd be exactly what the Steelers got to do. And they're starting off with a great start. So I think Zac Robinson would be a nice addition. No OC experience, but I'm not afraid of that.
No.
In fact, I'd be a little intrigued at what he could bring to this offense, learning under McVay. That's the first name that they've shown interest, and there has been a report from Albert Breer that they have requested interviewing him. So he's going to go through his options. The Steelers are going to go through their options, and if they can come to a deal with Zac Robinson, that'd be a great addition.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. The second guy, and this was breaking news today from Peter King. He was on 93.7 The Fan, and Peter King said that the Steelers are going to talk to Kliff Kingsbury and we'll probably interview him for the vacant OC position. Now, this one, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not as intrigued. I'm not.
Now,
I'm not feeling it.
And like Zac Robinson, he's also getting some similar interest in possibly being a candidate for an OC job position. Because the Bears were looking to interview him, but again, they got Shane Waldron. I just seen a couple minutes ago before we went live that the Eagles are actually interviewing him for their vacant OC position since they fired Brian Johnson.
Right.
So Kliff is a guy that's also getting similar interest, but it appears the Steelers are one of those teams looking to at least bring this guy in and talk to him.
It's definitely not a bad option to bring in an interview. They're going through all their options. They're going to bring in a lot of good names. They are. Kliff Kingsbury, I don't think he would be
I wouldn't hate it. Let me throw that out there.
I'm trying to word it.
I wouldn't hate it because there's no doubt about it. This man's not a head coach.
No.
Not at the college level. Surely not the NFL level. The guy's just not.
No, we all know that.
He's just not a head coach. As a coordinator, I think he would be more welcoming to it, and I think it would be the right position for him to succeed in. And it would be a way for him to get his foot back into the NFL door.
Right. Which again, I just feel like that's the area the Steelers are gonna hit at the OC position. Is they're gonna interview their guys, they're gonna interview the dream options for the Steelers, right? But I think ultimately they might settle for someone that's just trying to get back into the league.
And Kingsbury,
hence Kingsbury
fits probably
that
to a T.
Probably a Byron Leftwich, probably a Pep Hamilton, guys like that. Maybe a Darrell Bevel. You know, he's been trying to get an OC position since losing his job with the Lions a couple years back.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes off to me like guys like that is who the Steelers might settle for.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong because I do want to get one of the dreamer options. I want to get the top picks. I want to get the best candidate available. I do. Kliff Kingsbury, I can't say is the best candidate available. He wouldn't be my second, third, fourth, or fifth, or even sixth, or 10th option. I'm not going to lie to you. Kliff Kingsbury doesn't really intrigue me a lot. He doesn't. He didn't succeed a lot in Arizona, and I know a head coach and an offensive coordinator is two entirely different positions. He would be better as an OC. And he runs an air raid offense. But what I've seen and what I've read and what I've watched, what I've researched the past couple hours since the news broke, is it just didn't work out in Arizona. And most of his stuff is very predictable, as a matter of fact. I don't want that in Pittsburgh again.
We sensed we've seen enough predictability.
Yes.
Too much.
Because what I've researched and what I've seen and what I've heard around social media is he runs a lot of screens, he runs a lot of jet sweeps, and he doesn't move his targets around. In fact, in one of D-Hop's last years with Arizona, D-Hop lined up on the left side 80% of the time. He's predictable.
Yeah.
He doesn't move his guys around. Now, would it be an upgrade? Probably. But I don't want to just settle with, hey, it might be better than this, because I thought that with Canada when we got rid of Fichtner, and I thought that with Fichtner when we got rid of Haley. It's
Nope.
I'm not trying to settle with, hey, at least he's better than the last guy. No, I don't want just better than the last guy. I want someone that will actually provide enough and provide nicely for this offense. That's going to take us to the direction we need to go in.
Right.
Not just, hey, he's better than the last guy. Like, no. Yes, but no.
No, we want to get to that next level.
And Kingsbury, I'm just not feeling it.
Again,
I don't think he's the offensive genius everyone thinks he is.
I mean, I know he has his moments for sure. I mean, he's not the most bright-minded out there when it comes to coordinators out there or coordinator candidates, but I know he's not a bad option either. He's kind of in the middle.
Right.
It's kind of in the middle to me. I wouldn't hate it, but he would not be my first option, without a doubt.
No.
But I do want to bring this up because of the quarterback situation.
Yes.
Kingsbury has a history for coaching quarterbacks, it's specifically at the college level, but,
Yes, specifically at the college level.
But he has a tendency of coaching quarterbacks, guys like Johnny Manziel. He helped them win the Heisman Trophy. I believe he actually helped groom Baker Mayfield before he went to Oklahoma, because I believe Baker was at Texas Tech for a little bit.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, of course. Texas Tech. So
most recently, Caleb Williams, as he was the quarterback coach.
He's the senior offensive analyst at USC. So seeing that resume.
And of course, Kyler Murray in Arizona.
Seeing that resume, do you think that would intrigue Mike Tomlin to potentially want to acquire Kliff Kingsbury? Because of Kenny Pickett's mishaps.
I do.
Because Tomlin is confident in Kenny Pickett, but he also understands and acknowledges that this is a huge year for Kenny Pickett.
Yes. He would be intrigued in a guy like Kingsbury because of that reason, because of his quarterback resume and how quarterback friendly he is.
It wouldn't surprise me one bit.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
I mean, keep in mind, he thought Canada and Kenny's connection at Pitt would work out in the NFL level. And it just didn't.
No, it didn't.
So, seeing Kingsbury's resume, reading off Kingsbury's resume of who he worked with and who he groomed, or more so helped, I want to say, that could intrigue Tomlin into want to obtaining him and see if he can get the best out of Kenny Pickett, because Tomlin doesn't want to give up on Kenny Pickett, and quite honestly, in me and Dan's eyes, he's gambling on Kenny Pickett. Although he acknowledges he needs competition, and it's a huge year for him.
Right.
So, does this, and with Kingsbury's resume, does this feel like Tomlin's going to lean on potentially getting Kingsbury if all the other candidates are not available, or just not intriguing to Tomlin because of Kingsbury's resume? Do you think he's going to want to acquire him to aid in Kenny Pickett's development?
Yes, because of that reason. But I don't think he's the right guy for it. I was even thinking maybe bring him in as a quarterback coach, because there is news about Mike Sullivan, our quarterback coach. Spoiler alert, he's probably going to go. And whoever our next OC is will determine who our next quarterback coach is. We'll discuss it. But I was discussing maybe Kingsbury could be brought in as a quarterback coach because of his quarterback resume, and that would probably be his best option. Kingsbury to me comes off as a college coach. He's college orientated,
and that's what he primarily is.
He runs air raid, which is a lot of 4 receiver sets, a lot of 10 personnel.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of the predictable stuff that Canada was doing, which is again sweeps, jet sweeps, not moving his targets around. In fact, he doesn't even use a lot of pre-snap motion.
Yeah.
So it just comes off to me as I don't think Kingsbury would be the great addition I think a lot of people would think. I'm just not feeling the Kingsbury news. I don't think they're going to settle for Kingsbury, but the Steelers are going to bring him in because of that quarterback history he has. And Kingsbury is going to take any NFL offensive coordinator or any NFL coaching interview because he's trying to get back into the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I get it. But I don't think Kingsbury would be the best option or a great option. But they're going to go through their options.
Yeah.
Just because they interview the guy doesn't mean they're going to settle with him. Because they shouldn't just interview one or two guys and then just settle on that. They got to bring in more people.
The Steelers need to do a full-on massive research of candidates out there, and they got to take their time doing it. I know us Steelers fans are going to be a little bit impatient because we want to see the news come out of Steelers interested in this guy and that guy, interviewing this guy and that guy.
And frankly, some of these guys won't last. Shane Waldron's already off the market. I mean, a lot of people want to bring in Kliff Kingsbury. I think that's the best available option. I would love for them to bring in Kliff Kingsbury. There is no news on them requesting to interview him, but there should be.
Not yet.
I hope there is.
Fingers crossed there is.
As far as we know, these are the only two options, which is Zac Robinson and Kliff Kingsbury, the last 2 days. But so perhaps we get more, and that should be guys like Kliff Kingsbury, like Eric Bieniemy. I'd even bring in a Brian Johnson. I don't think he was that bad in Philly. I think that's more Sirianni's issue. My own personal opinion.
Right.
But there's so many other guys they could bring in for that position.
But with this position, like I said, they got to do a massive research and take your time with it, while at the same time getting any interviews of the biggest and best candidates out there to make sure that you have gotten them in for an interview and you know what you could potentially be bringing in based off those interviews.
Right.
You got to take the time doing it while at the same time getting the best options out there ASAP.
I agree.
Because, again, this is a big year for Mike Tomlin and the Steelers when it comes to getting the right OC. It's a huge year.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're gonna have to, like you said, take their time, but at the same time, they're going to have to bring in a lot of serious, really good candidates.
Yeah.
Zac Robinson's a good start. I don't feel the same way about Kliff Kingsbury. But, I mean, those are the only two names we have thus far.
Yeah.
At least through the past 2 days. The search is only beginning. But we hope as the days come in, they bring in more better and good offensive coaching candidates.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're going out and being interested in guys like this, that's going left field. That's out their bubble. That's out their comfort zone. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. I'll give them that. That's a good thing. We thought that they would just settle with some familiar names or some in-house guys, which Tomlin has already debunked, but still, I mean, they're not doing that yet. They are really going out the zone and going after guys they should be going after, which is the McVay, Shanahan coaching tree, guys that could empower this offense, more of the modern solutions, which, they've been stale, they've been outdated for a while, schematically. They still are, as a matter of fact. But now, because of who they're showing interest in, who they're going to want to interview, it tells me Tomlin's trying to fix his issues and right the wrongs.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. I'll give them that. But this is only beginning. We hope more names come out. But, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, and we'll see what more news and what more names come out. But, we're still hoping for, like we said, Kubiak, for Bieniemy, for I'd even bring in a Thomas Brown.
Yeah.
He's getting potential OC lateral interviews. Apparently, I heard one was with the Titans for the OC job. So, I mean, if they want to continue to go ahead that McVay coaching tree, Thomas Brown would be someone they could potentially try to lateral.
Of course. There's names out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names out there.
Right.
And I'm real excited to see what other names that they do try to bring in an interview and try to reach out to get an interview for.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm excited.
It's maybe they go after someone from Houston's coaching tree. Maybe what D'Amico Ryans has been doing. Someone like their quarterback coach. What's his name?
Gerard Johnson.
Yeah,
that's his name. That's another guy that's been kind of been out there,
right,
as a possible candidate.
So maybe they want to work under him. Yeah. See what he's been doing with C.J. Stroud. He's been working under Bobby Slowick.
Yeah.
I mean, guys like that is who they could easily bring in as viable options. That's who you want to target. Hopefully we get more news about that. But so far, we only got Zac Robinson and Kliff Kingsbury. So we'll see what happens next, man. Otherwise, I guess we can get into the DC. Do we want to get into DC or we want to go right into the offensive coaching? We must as well stick with the offensive
Let's
coaching.
stick with the offense.
Okay.
I think it's pretty fitting. Jerry Dulick today actually mentioned Mike Sullivan, our quarterback coach and co-interim OC when Canada was fired, that the Steelers are not expected to retain Mike Sullivan to avoid awkwardness, quote unquote, with the next OC.
Yeah, that's what Jerry Dulick said on the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette earlier. That's not the only thing he said. He also mentioned that Pat Meyer, our offensive line coach, is expected to return to the team. Why?
That I don't get. That I don't understand.
I know why. Because the offense in the second half of the season finally starts gelling, and the ground game has been one of the best in the league for the last 2 years. That's why.
That's no damn reason. That's like when Canada stayed for his last year because the offense in Canada was getting going. It was being much better. Oh, that was good enough. Oh, the running game started getting going. That was good enough for Canada to stick around. That's a bullshit excuse.
No, it wasn't.
That's a ridiculous excuse. It's the same thing with Pat Meyer here.
In fact, what I view with Pat Meyer is his development in our offensive lineman has been very rough. In fact, he's putting a lot of guys out of position. In fact, that's been the Steelers' problem in the offensive line room for a lot of years.
A lot of years.
But it's continuing with Pat Meyer because look at Project Jones. Why the fuck is he playing right tackle? Swear jar.
Why is Dan Moore still at left tackle? Like, Jesus.
Why was Kevin Dodson at left guard the last 2-3 years? He goes to the Rams, switches to right. He's having a great year. Wow, imagine putting someone at their proper position where they're most comfortable.
You know, imagine we select Amarius Mims, right? Bulldog offensive tackle.
Oh, yeah.
I think I already know where I'm going with this, but
Oh, no.
you know, Broderick was at left tackle and Georgia Mims was at right tackle. According to Pat Meyer, apparently, well, we're going to keep Broderick at right tackle and we're going to have Mims at left tackle until after the bye week when Dan Moore's still the fucking starter.
Yeah, right? Yeah, right?
That's their logic. That's their thinking, and I don't understand it.
No.
It just doesn't make sense. Why put him out of position?
Ben V said the same thing in the chat.
See, man, great minds think alike. I don't get it. It's stupid. Especially when it comes to...
But that's their logic.
But especially when it comes to their draft process and who they're scouting and looking for. They scouted Broderick Jones as a left tackle.
Yes. The
at
franchise
Georgia.
left
tackle.
Right? No, even though he had a phenomenal game versus the Ravens before the fucking bye week at left tackle, let's put him at right tackle. Why? That's the biggest problem with our offensive line is putting guys out of positions. It messes up their development, and it just ruins everything that they've already learned previously. Plus, what Pat Meyer has been teaching the offensive linemen, their techniques and stuff like that, is just it's not worked in the growth of our line. It has not.
No, it hasn't.
So why is Pat Meyer sticking around? Why? Because the line is starting to gel? Because the run game is so successful and he is partially the run game coordinator? So you're going to continue to trust this guy in developing the future of your offensive line, which we are still talking about for years now.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Constantly.
We're still talking about issues at tackle. We're still talking about issues at center. And this isn't just the O-line issue. This isn't just the recurring revolving door of offensive line issues. It also goes to the Steelers' lack of trying to fix the offensive line for years past.
Or just looking for a permanent, I don't want to say permanent, but a legit replacement to Mike Munchak.
Yeah.
And they have not found that whatsoever.
Speaking of Mike Munchak, apparently he's interested in returning to coaching in select locations.
If one of them's the Steelers, I don't know what the Steelers are doing.
I know it's a pipe dream because I don't think it's ever going to happen again. A lot of fans are getting their hopes up on it. But holy fuck, are you kidding me?
I mean that goon squad. From left to right, that goon squad was fucking perfect. It was all because of Munchak. and it's all because of Munchak.
Well, it
and
wasn't just because of Munchak. It was also because, the Steelers actually spent some capital on some of those linemen.
Of course, but Munchak was able to develop him into all-pro, legit lineman.
Absolutely, because Foster was undrafted. Kelvin Beachum was, a 6th, 7th rounder before he left. Villanueva was a former tight end turned fucking tackle.
Yeah.
Marcus Gilbert was, a mid-round selection?
Something like that.
Matt Fuller was undrafted. He turned into a starter. Chucks was a 3rd round. I mean, come on. You see the development of these guys. No matter the draft pedigree they had, they turned into serviceable starters, and a lot of that had to do with the development of them. And that was all focused on Mike Munchak. I feel like still to this day, he remains one of our biggest losses in recent years.
Oh, one of those people that we just not recovered from when he left.
We haven't.
Because that goon squad, because of Munchak's development and the goon squad and everybody, it's why the Killer Bees were able to do what they did.
But because the Steelers still have to focus and address offensive line, they think sticking with the same guy that's been developing your offensive line is the right way to go. The entire offensive scheme should have been absolutely revamped, from offensive coordinator all the way down to O-line coach. All of it. You want to keep Eddie Faulkner? Fine. You want to keep Alfredo Roberts? Fine. Quarterback coach? Gotta go. Wide receiver coach? Gotta go. Offensive line coach? Gotta go. Apparently Mike Sullivan's going? Fine. Offensive line coach? Apparently staying. No one knows what the future is on Friesman Jackson, our receiver coach. I think we all vouch for Hines Ward, my boy. Favorite Steeler of all time. Perfect guy to put in that locker room. Just saying. Plus, you got his nephew, PZ Jr., on the defensive side. I mean, come on. You can embrace that locker room right there.
Yeah, you really could.
I mean, I'm just saying. But the entire offensive scheme needed changed. We're focusing on offensive coordinator, and whoever our OC is will determine who the quarterback coach is, because according to Dulac, who, depending who you talk to, is a reliable or unreliable source, says that Sullivan is expected to go just to prevent awkwardness.
Yeah, and I want to point that out, too, that he mentions to avoid awkwardness with the next OC because, of course, Sullivan called the plays when Kanda was fired. From what I'm getting from that, that appears to be the only reason why Sullivan's leaving, which I kind of find ridiculous.
Right.
Because Sullivan, as the quarterback coach, I don't really think he did a fine job as our quarterback coach, if you think about it. Everybody else just didn't pan out.
No.
I just don't think he really did that great of a job as the QB coach.
No.
Based off who he coached under and what we've seen out of those players, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But the only
his
reason
resume wasn't great.
Exactly. And him leaving only because of to avoid awkwardness, that's the only reason, but not the other reason.
Because you weren't, because you didn't service our quarterbacks properly.
So if, say, Faulkner was the only one that was the interim OC, not Sullivan and Faulkner. Say Faulkner was the only interim OC. I think Sullivan would still be sticking around. But apparently it's not happening.
No, because he was the play caller.
He was the play caller, yes. If Faulkner was the lone play caller, the only interim OC, I think Sullivan would still be the quarterback coach.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, nonetheless, Mike Sullivan can go. He cannot. It doesn't really matter to me. But we do need someone to help develop Kenny Pickett, because, like it or not, again, we don't. Kenny Pickett's going to stay. He's going to compete. He might even start. But you need someone new in there to help develop your quarterback, your first-round pick. Mike Sullivan hasn't been the guy the last 2 years. Clearly not. They can bring in someone else for that position. If they want to bring in Kingsbury as quarterback coach, get his feet back into the NFL pool, you could do that just based on his quarterback-rich history, specifically at the college level, but still, that remains there. Pep Hamilton, if they want to bring him in, he wants to be a minority interview for that OC job, as that's a requirement. I wouldn't make him OC. I'd make him the quarterback coach first. He's done well under several quarterbacks. Andrew Luck.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. I mean, Davis Mills, last time he was the coach, the quarterback coach for the Texans.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. There's so many other names they can bring in. They want to try to lateral Brian Greasy from the 49ers. That'd be great.
They could do that, yeah.
You want to try to lateral, what's his name? Jared Johnson.
Jared Johnson from
the
Houston.
Texans.
Yeah.
You could do that. I mean, it all depends on these guys that want to leave that system. They probably wouldn't, just based on how great the Texans and Niners are doing compared to our coaching and our system. But nonetheless, I mean, you could bring in someone new to try to help out develop your quarterback because according to Tomlin, he's confident in Kenny Pickett. Well, you're going to need someone to bring in to help the guy because clearly he needs a lot of it.
Yes.
So
Big time.
Sullivan leaving, I couldn't give a rat's ass. But you got to bring in a nice, great candidate to help build your quarterback.
Yeah. If you're going to be getting rid of Sullivan, you definitely got to get a better quarterback coach out there.
Right.
For sure.
Right. So, I mean, we'll see if they bring in anyone for that position, as they should. I mean, I'd imagine whoever the OC is, that will determine who the quarterback coach is. But they're going to have to bring in someone new at both positions. They just have to. It's a must, as a matter of fact. In fact, they'll pretty much work together, and that'll really help Kenny Pickett. So those are two positions they're really going to have to fix. But Pat Meyer sticking around does not excite me at all. In fact, I fear the development of these players still.
Yeah.
Mike Thomas still doesn't know where to put Broderick Jones. What type of fucking statement is that? You don't know where to put your foot? You don't know where to put a left tackle that has played left tackle at Georgia the last year and a half
And his
in
first career start against the Baltimore Ravens of all teams.
He was locked
was
down.
perfect. There was no issue. 100% of the snaps, 0 pressure, 0 sacks. I think 0 quarterback hits, actually.
Yeah.
Like, the guy was a brick wall over there.
Right.
Yet, you want to put him at right tackle because Chuck said some things, which he was absolutely
That were
right
true
about.
and justified, and then you got rid of the guy, but you still
You
got him.
didn't give Chuck his job back, although he wasn't really that great at right tackle this past year.
No, 'cause-
definitely his worst year as a Steeler.
Because make no mistake about it, he's going to be a cap casualty.
But his punishment or his action was not worth the punishment. It was ridiculous, and I feel like they
But
treated
it
him.
forced Broderick to right.
It did, and they're still satisfied with Dan Moore's play.
I will never understand their denial in Dan Moore. It is an unknown mystery that will forever be unsolved.
I don't get it. Dan Moore's coming into his last year this upcoming season. That's got to be it.
He can be the swing guy, okay?
And that's his best. I've said this last year.
I
That
know.
is his best role.
We all agree on that.
As that extra lineman for short yardage goal line situations. He even worked
Yes.
he even did some right tackle practice reps without the Steelers' knowledge.
As a matter of fact, motherfucker, if you want to make Pat Meyer the run game coordinator primarily, fine. Keep him as the run game coordinator. That's what he teaches best. That's what he works with best. Clearly, the offensive linemen are benefiting from it because that's all they work at the best. You want to keep him as a run game coordinator, fine. Demote him as only run game coordinator, but still bring in someone new as the O-line coach.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go. He can have a specific role, but he cannot teach these linemen how to block. He cannot teach these linemen how to protect the quarterback. He can't.
No, that's been shown time and time again.
No. But, yeah, so, I don't know. That's going to be the case, though. He's going to stay, apparently.
Then Meyer will stay. Sullivan reportedly will not, to avoid awkwardness. I don't know who they bring in to replace Sullivan as the QB coach, but
I'm interested to see who they try to bring in.
yeah.
It's going to be very newsworthy. It's going to be very interesting to watch and see who they're going to want to.
And I feel like with OC, quarterback coach is just important to nail just as much.
It is.
Because Fichtner wasn't really that great. Candace sure as hell wasn't.
No.
And Sullivan didn't really fit the build there either.
Right.
So it's just a revolving door.
In fact, I'll throw in another name. How about a Byron Leftwich as a quarterback coach? He played the position before.
He did play. Did he coach the position, actually? I'm actually curious about that.
I forget.
Maybe because
I think he did.
I know Arians, he brought him in as a coach with during his time in Arizona. Quarterbacks coach, Arizona, 2017, 2018. So he's got the experience there.
That's what Tomlin wants.
That's the experience there.
You could easily bring him in as a quarterback coach. So these guys that they might have to settle for because it just seems like that's what they might have to settle. It's what they might have to just work with. Is because I don't know. My true deep feelings about the OC position is I don't know if they're going to be able to secure one of those top dream options, those rising guys, those guys from the McVay and Shanahan tree that we all wish for, I don't know if they're going to be able to lock them because of their commitments to Kenny Pickett. Thus, they might have to settle for someone like a Hamilton or a Kingsbury or a Leftwich or whoever that's just trying to get back into the league or trying to get back into the OC position.
Yep.
That's what I think they might have to settle for. I hope I'm wrong in saying that. I hope they get a Robinson or a Kubiak or whoever else they want to bring in. That's a much better option, one of the dream options out there. But they don't have to be the OC. You can interview them, but they don't have to be the OC. They can still settle for the quarterback position, the quarterback coach position. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I think that'd be a nice, what's the word? Complimentary prize. Compensation, I suppose.
Yeah.
So perhaps that's what they look for. I don't know. We'll see. There's still going to be many names that are going to be out there, but there's some coaching positions they're going to have to nail.
Yeah.
One that we were hoping they were going to revamp and fix, which we knew they weren't, would be defensive coordinator.
Terrell Austin.
He is
according to Jerry Dulick as well.
He is he's not going anywhere.
No. According to Jerry Dulick, the Steelers are actually expected to award Terrell Austin with a new contract. And looks like he will remain the DC for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm just going to say I don't have a good feeling about this. I don't have a good feeling about Terrell Austin remaining the DC. He hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been that bad. I'm not going to lie. He hasn't been drastic. He hasn't been very awful, if I'm being honest. But is he the guy to go with in the future? Does he deserve an extension? I don't think so.
No, I don't.
He was a good secondary coach. He was a good DB coach before getting promoted, but I don't think he's a great defensive coordinator. As a matter of fact, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think he does most of the play calling defensively. I think it's Mike Tomlin. Keith Butler admitted that when he retired. Mike Tomlin has a lot to do with the defensive schemes and the defensive concepts out there. He has a lot to do with it. Most of the, in fact, you look at it this way. Most of our very common and reoccurring defensive errors have still remained the same even after Keith Butler.
Keith Bullock.
What?
You said Keith Butler.
I said Keith Butler, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Keith Butler. Who are you thinking about?
I said Bullock, my bad.
No, not Keith Bullock.
I don't know why I'm thinking of Keith Bullock, my bad.
No, what I'm saying is the reoccurring errors we see from defense that we saw in Keith Butler,
that we were very adamant about.
It has soaked in. It has remained with the Terrell Austin defense.
Yeah. Like there's no change.
There's no change whatsoever in the defense.
No change.
And I think that's because it's a Mike Tomlin led defense.
It's his defensive scheme.
It is.
It's what he has continued to run since LeBeau's left. Since Dick LeBeau left and Butler was given that DC position.
Yeah.
And now the same is happening with Terrell Austin.
Right.
When he was gifted the position.
I think Tomlin wants control of the defense. He's not going to give it to a high-end DC or someone that can have full freedom there. Mike Tomlin's still going to have his hand in the pot there for that defensive coordinator spot.
Yeah.
He's still going to, call most of the shots. That's at least my feeling. That's what Keith Butler admitted, and I think that's still being evident just because our errors are still happening from years ago. The zone coverage, the zone blown up designs, the linebackers on receivers.
Constantly.
The blown coverages, the miscommunication. I mean, how many times last year did we see 12 men on the field defensively? Mm-hmm. There was terrible miscommunication. Now, I'm very aware that last year our defense got smacked by the injury bug. In fact, the mark is still there. Our back end of the defense was incredibly hurt.
Yeah.
We got down to practice squad guys that just came off the couch.
Yeah. Inside linebacker, safety. It's like those two positions, absolutely.
Yeah, we lost all of our important pieces. We lost all our stars, literally all of them.
Yeah.
Minka was hurt most of the season. Casey was suspended and hurt at times. Neal was on IR.
Yeah. Then
Holcomb on IR.
There was Alexander. Roberts had lingering injuries.
Like, we had to depend on guys like Eric Rowe and Trenton Thompson. We had to move Patrick Pearson to safety.
Yeah, it's a linebacker. We took Blake
Miles
Martinez
Jack.
out of retirement. Miles Jack, absolutely. Jalen Smith, we even put him on the fucking practice squad.
Yeah.
Like, good God Almighty.
So
that's how desperate we were.
So I'm very aware that we were really blown up defensively by the injury bug. I'm very aware of that. And in that same group, in that same conversation, we were still arguably a top 10 defense statistically, and we're the sixth least scoring defense.
Yeah.
So that is something to note. You do have to note that we allowed a lot of yards. In fact, the majority of the season, there were receivers that were breaking out against us. A lot, actually.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like the part where that really started to slow down was when JPJ actually started starting.
Of course, it was night and day.
But it took forever for him to start.
It took
Why?
It took till after the bye week.
Why did it take until after the bye to start a guy like JPJ?
I don't know. I don't know.
The first half of the season,
I don't know what they were
we
thinking.
were all clamoring for JPJ to start because Levi Wallace was trash, and then Terrell Austin, all he said was, yeah, he's not ready. He's not ready. I don't think that's a good idea yet. He's getting there, but just not yet. I'm like, why not? Levi Wallace is allowing 150 yards and 3 touchdowns every fucking week, and you're not starting your second-round rookie. And then when he did, that kind of limited. But that's also an issue with Terrell Austin, is he doesn't make adjustments, or when he does, it's too late.
Of course.
He doesn't know when to put in his proper guys.
Yeah.
In fact, I still feel like Keanu Benton didn't see enough reps. Nick Herbig still didn't see enough reps.
Absolutely, Nick Herbig didn't see enough reps.
JPJ saw the field too late into the season.
Yeah. Like, think of some of the games earlier, before the bye week, right? Imagine if those rookies saw earlier reps.
Yeah.
You know, they saw starts and a lot more reps earlier than that, right?
Yeah.
You know, because you look at other teams with standout rookies, you know, like they didn't have a ball and chain wrapped around their ankles. They didn't have a leash around their neck.
Yeah.
They let them go out there and do what they needed to do because that's why they drafted them.
Right.
Yet for us and our defensive guys, Austin is just hesitant for some apparent reason.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. And that's one of his biggest issues, as well as, again, the blown up coverage designs, the concepts, the coverage, the miscommunication. And that is still led by Mike Tomlin because that has soaked in from previous years.
But you mix Austin's mishaps with Tomlin's mishaps, that's a bad recipe right there. That's terrible.
I don't think Terrell Austin is as bad as a lot of people are saying, but he's definitely not great. He's not.
But he's a guy that Tomlin's going to want to keep under because Tomlin's going to be calling the shots on defense.
Yes.
That's just the way it is.
He's gonna be a guy that's gonna let Tomlin, have his hand in the pot. He's gonna be a guy that's gonna let Tomlin have his say.
And say Austin doesn't get extended, right? They just let him walk. They look for a new DC. How much of that's really going to change if Tomlin's still going to have a lot of say on the defense? How much would that?
They're probably just gonna promote Aaron Curry,
No,
our linebacker coach.
Aaron Curry or Carl Dunbar, our defensive line coach. You know, because honestly, how much would change if Austin did walk or did leave? They let him leave.
Yeah. Well, truthfully, like we mentioned, I just feel like because Tomlin's a defensive coach, and Butler admitted when he retired, Tomlin just calls the plays on defense.
He draws everything up. He draws the plays, the schemes, the formations. He does all that.
Right.
That's just his go-to.
Right.
That's his. That's just his way.
I know.
So.
But them extending Terrell Austin will just continue that.
Yeah.
As well as just Austin and what he says and what he does defensively and how he lines his guys up or how he doesn't use his guys properly or the route or the coverage concepts. It didn't work this year. I know we very much limited the amount of points scored, at least up until the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which seems to be every year, by the way.
Yeah.
We allowed a lot of yardage, and the defense was very strong in the red zone, and they didn't allow a lot of scoring. But at the same time, that is still a reoccurring issue.
Yeah. And another reoccurring issue just as much is top offenses in the league is destroying this defense.
Oh, yeah.
And keep in mind,
anytime we go up against a high-powered offense, I don't trust this defense.
And keep in mind, this is still the highest paid defense in the NFL.
Right.
And our defense is allowing that to happen.
Right.
Teams like the Niners, the Texans, the Jags, You know, even the Colts when they had nobodies. Remember that game?
Yeah.
Like, that just wasn't good.
No,
That just wasn't good.
29 unanswered points.
So, they keep in Austin. They definitely got to change some shit up. They definitely got to fix some stuff.
Well, I think some of that will definitely help when we get a actual cornerback too, and when we get an actual strong safety opposite Minka. I think that will help.
Yeah.
But I think the linebackers on receivers and the coverage designs and the coverage blowups is still going to be present because, again, we've seen that so many years now.
Yeah.
We've seen the same repetitive defensive errors for a long time.
And opposing offenses see that. They see the weak links, the weak points, and that's just where they hit it.
Right.
Especially middle of the field.
So we're just going to have to settle with it, unfortunately. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it okay. But, you know, if we can fill some of these gaps, I guess it won't be that big of a burden. It won't be that bad,
right.
I guess.
Right.
So maybe I'm just trying to hold on to that and hoping, you know, maybe the defense can still hold us because, truth be told, man, and I'll give them some credit. I'll give the coaching a little credit here. The defense is what kept us in a lot of games. A lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is what gave us most of our wins this year. It was the defense and it was the run game. None of it had to do with the offensive passing game. None of it had to do with the quarterback, at least not till late when the right quarterback was in.
Yeah.
A lot of it had to do with the run game and especially the defense. The defense kept us in the game a lot early in the season. And, of course, when injuries came about, it kind of distinguished a little bit. But, man, I mean, I'll give them that. Our defense kept us in the game a lot. And you can trust our defense in that factor when they are fully healthy. But I'm not going to lie to you, I'm coming to a point where I just don't feel that much confident in the defense like I used to be.
Right. And I get what you're saying right there.
So,
because I'm kind of in the same boat.
I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about it. I do. But I think we can trust certain guys in the defense. You know, the obvious.
Yeah.
TJ Watt, Highsmith, Minka. Minka had a bad year, a very bad year.
Yeah.
I know he was injury riddled. He wasn't used properly. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact we don't have an actual slot weapon where Minka can roam in that free safety spot.
Yeah.
But, again, that's a position we're going to have to fix.
And if they were to fix those said positions and fix those holes, fix those weak links, then maybe, right? Maybe we don't see those mishaps, those inconsistencies on the defense.
Yeah.
Just maybe. But that's where the Steelers need to strike and nail them.
Right.
Simple as that.
Well, they need a cornerback too. They need an actual slot guy, and they need a strong safety opposite Minka.
Yeah.
And they need an extra defensive lineman because
and arguably another inside linebacker if they desire to find a young stud
they
out
need
there.
better depth.
Yeah.
They need better depth.
Yeah.
I'd keep the same three guys, but they need better depth.
You need somebody. I would say you need somebody that's going to be here for the long run.
Right.
Long term.
That will kind of lessen the blow of Terrell Austin coming back. I know a lot of people are giving him praise because of what he had to endure last year. And he did have a good first year. I'll give him that.
Well, no, first year was very good.
But I just know that outside the stats and outside of what they're saying, you know, there are still problems with the defense that we see every year, and that's still the fear. And in ways, I don't know if I can trust the defense like I used to.
Yeah.
But if they can fill the gaps, then absolutely.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it for the Steelers coaching, man. A lot of coaching news, a lot of coaching discussion tonight about the OC position, about the quarterback coach position, about the O-line position, and, of course, DC, man. Very, very coaching staff heavy tonight. So, you know, talked about most of the points and gave our thoughts and opinions and some suggestions out there. But hopefully within the next couple days, as the OC coaching role search continues, we'll get some more names. We'll get some more news out there because, you know, I'm anticipating the Steelers to look at a lot of options.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to. It's a must. And they got to go through so many until they find the one that's mostly right for them. It's a must, man. They really have to nail it this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's no surprise they're going to stick with Terrell Austin. You just kind of knew that. Pat Myers, a little bit of a disappointment, but the OC and quarterback position, they definitely got to nail.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
They do.
Especially if you're sticking with Kenny, which we know they are.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to hit that strong. But, you know, the past 2 days, man, yesterday we got news about Zac Robinson. Today we got news about Kliff Kingsbury. So tomorrow, could we get news about someone else? Could we get someone new every day this week? Seems like that could be the trend, and that would be the desire from us Steelers fans because we need it, and we need to see the Steelers start making extra pushes for certain guys. So, other than that, man, I suppose we'll finish off with the playoffs, the AFC and NFC conference games. I know we touched on it earlier, but we might as well give our final thoughts and opinions on it. Well, let's get the chat involved. Everyone's saying TJ just won Defensive Player of the Year. The NFL honors isn't until February, the Thursday before the Super Bowl. Where did he win Defensive Player of the Year?
See, the Steelers posted on X right here. For the third time in his career, TJ Watt has been selected as the 101 Awards AFC Defensive Player of the Year.
Where do you see that?
That's Steelers on here, on X. Been selected as the 101 Awards AFC Defensive Player of the Year.
That's not the NFL honors, though.
No, it's not. The NFL honors isn't for another 2 weeks.
No.
So he's not officially although he should be. He's not officially the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, but he did win, or he was selected, I should say, as the 101 Awards AFC Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. So he didn't win it. He didn't win Defensive Player of the Year. That'll be announced Thursday before the Super Bowl.
He won AFC Defensive Player of the Year, just not NFL.
Well, he should be NFL.
He should be
NFL. We all
NFL.
agree on that. We all agree on that.
He should be NFL.
In fact, we brought up Peter King and what he broke about the Kliff Kingsbury news. He also mentioned that he thinks TJ Watt should be third in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Third?
Yeah, I know he had Myles Garrett as number 1. I think he had.
How?
I think he had. It was either Parsons or Crosby as number 2. It was either one of those two. And I think I read that he based it off of PFF. Yes.
What, the pass rush win rate? What is that?
That's basically a pass rusher's participation
Pass
award.
rush win rate doesn't get you sacks.
Nope.
Getting to the quarterback gets you sacks. And if I'm correct, TJ Watt was the sack leader this year.
19. Third time in his career. The only player ever in the NFL to do so. For 3 different years. No one else has done it.
Myles Garrett didn't do a fucking thing in the playoffs.
He didn't do shit the last month and a half.
He only had 1 sack after Thanksgiving. 1.
Yeah.
TJ Watt had what? 6? Let me get my numbers right. I don't know if I'm exaggerating that, but it sure as hell felt like it. In the same time span, TJ Watt had. I'm gonna have to find the game log.
Yes, PFF is a joke.
In the same time frame, TJ Watt had 2, 3, 5, fucking 7.
7.
7.5. Garrett had 1. Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, listen, man.
And get Myles Garrett. Okay, this is what y'all gotta understand as well. TJ Watt is a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Which means he drops in coverage from time to time. Myles Garrett is a 4-3 edge rusher, defensive end, which means he rushes the quarterback all the time. Are you kidding me?
And listen, like, we all are not taking anything away from Myles Garrett.
No, we all know he's an elite defender.
But
okay? But he's not fucking Defensive Player of the Year.
He's not.
Never will be.
He's not a game wrecker like TJ Watt.
No, he's not.
As a matter of fact, nobody is.
He's not.
TJ Watt is the best game-wrecking defensive player in the NFL today.
Yeah.
And will go down as one of the best of all time.
Bro, we are 1-10, 1-11 without him. What more do you need?
Yeah. Without Watt, there is no defense. Let's be real.
Without Watt, there is no Pittsburgh Steelers at this point. I swear to God.
TJ Watt is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He's the Defensive Player of the Year. No Parsons, no Garrett, no Crosby, no whoever you want to throw in there. It is TJ Watt. And my fear is he's going to get robbed and they're going to give it to Myles Garrett.
They'll only give it to Garrett because he didn't win one yet.
Who cares?
Who fucking
Ben
who?
never got an MVP, and they never gave him one because, hey, you never got one. The fuck is that?
Now, they're going to cater to Garrett because he never won one
14
yet.
sacks.
Yeah.
14. Here, you know what? Motherfucker, I'm petty as shit right now. I'm gonna go for stat if we're talking stats.
Matter of fact, I'm actually interested too.
Let me get my boy's game log. Okay? Okay? All right. TJ Watt, 19 sacks. Myles Garrett, 14.
Yeah.
Four forced fumbles. Each by, they're tied for forced fumbles.
Yeah.
Where am I at? I need stats. Where's tackles for loss?
I want to see if I can get something. I want to take a look. Hold on. If this thing wants to load for me.
Does ESPN not have the tackles for loss?
You might have to look for another, Pro Football Reference? I think they have those.
Yeah. Let me do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do that. God, I don't like this laptop.
Yeah, I know.
I'm getting a new one tomorrow anyway.
All right, hold on. I want to see something.
Hopefully it runs a lot fucking better. Oh my God, okay. I'm gonna break this fucking thing.
Let me see something.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at snap counts.
Oh, snap counts. Where do
Yeah.
you find that at?
Spot track or spot rack.
Spot rack.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so for 2023, Myles Garrett, 16 games played, 15 starts, 812 snaps, 14 sacks, 42 tackles, 4 forced fumbles. TJ Watt, 17 games played, 16 starts, 931 snaps, 19 sacks, 68 tackles, 4 forced fumbles, 1 interception.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Watt obviously plays more snaps because Steelers defense is on.
The field half the time.
But again, Watt is constantly not constantly, but he's going to have to drop back in coverage from time to time.
Yes.
He's not rushing the passer every time like Myles Garrett has to.
Well, what's the snap difference?
The snap difference?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Like number.
Well, Garrett has
Hold on.
812.
Look at my calculator. 812, you said?
812.
How many do I have?
931.
That's 119 snap difference.
Yeah.
So that is a drastic snap difference. I'll give him that. But you're right. Watt drops in coverage more because he's in a 3-4 defense.
Yeah. But what I'm seeing here is a snaps percentage. I guess percentage per game. Watt is an 82.5.
Snaps played?
Yeah, per game average. That's what I'm speculating. For Myles Garrett, it's 81.5.
Oh, so it's not much of a difference.
No.
Wow. Oh, man.
I mean, it's Watt's fucking award.
Oh, I know.
Come on.
Anyway. Yeah, exactly. Garrett was very quiet at the end of the season.
I didn't hear anything from him.
God, this laptop sucks. I'm going to break this fucking thing.
Numbers don't lie. Watt is the guy. He won AFC Defensive Player from 101. How the hell does Myles get Defensive Player if he didn't even win that?
Yeah, right? Like, the fuck? Like, how does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense.
Oh, God. Anyway, yeah.
It just defies all logic.
I know. Anyway, let's get into the NFL playoffs. Let's get into the Conference Sunday matchups, bro. First of all, this past divisional round was an intense, fun watching football.
Outside that Ravens game.
Outside of it.
But everything else was enjoyable football.
Yeah,
I really had a good time watching it.
I did too. I didn't start off great. I was hoping the Texans could have, put up a stronger fight.
Of course.
But, Stroud has no help. He doesn't have enough receivers. He doesn't have a line. And the Ravens defense, dude, the Ravens defense is a fucking just unfair match.
It is.
I hate to say it.
The Ravens have a stacked defense. They have loaded talent.
I know. They have skill.
And their defensive coordinator is
Mike
arguably a head coach in the making.
He should be. Mike McDonald?
Yeah.
Dude, he alone slowed down C.J. Stroud, the Rookie of the Year, and Bobby Slowick, who could eventually be a head coach any minute now.
Yeah.
Like, that is astonishing.
And when the Browns couldn't. The Browns could not do it. And
No.
apparently the Browns defense was statistically better than the Ravens.
Yeah. Well, they were the worst road defense as well.
Yeah, well, still.
Still, you're right. I mean, that's very, very well. And they got the Ravens got skill players everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
Any concept, any formation they want to run, any sub package scheme they want to run on defense, they got skilled players to make plays anywhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You want to blitz with Kyle Hamilton, you can do that. You want to blitz with Arthur Millette, you can do that.
And that's the thing. Mike McDonald, he just knows how to use his players and put them in the right circumstances to succeed. Like, he sees their best traits, their best ability to play at certain levels, and he gets them to that point.
Yeah, dude, his coaching and player execution is exactly what is driving the Ravens to great success this year.
Yeah.
I can't say the same about Terrell Austin and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No. He sees their pros, and he has them execute in those pros.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
And that's where we got to add so we can bring that back to the defense. Because we used to have that.
We did.
We used to be able to function like that.
Yeah.
We had so many skill players. We had the depth. We don't got that no more.
No.
And that's another topic, man. That's such another topic we could easily get into. Because it's been on my mind for weeks, and the playoffs has exposed that, dude. Oh, my
Several
God.
times. Several times.
Oh, my God. All I'm going to say is Kevin Colbert set this team back a lot of years with the decisions.
Listen, I'm appreciative of Kevin Colbert and what he did for the team, but his later years, abso-fucking-lutely.
That's all I can think of while watching the playoffs, dude.
God.
That's all I can think of while watching the playoffs is Colbert fucked this team up. At the time, it looked really good.
Yeah, of course.
But in retrospect, he really fucked this team up.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching the Ravens, I'm watching all these other quarterbacks, I'm watching these other great teams, and I'm thinking, man, we could be at that level if we just made the proper decisions, if we just made the right decisions to keep guys or bring guys into this organization.
Yep.
But you see what the Ravens are doing. I mean, I hate to say it. I got a bad feeling the Ravens are going to win it all this year. First of all, I'm just going to say that the Ravens are going to be the AFC Conference champions. I don't trust the Chiefs. I don't believe in the Chiefs. They are not the juggernaut. They're not as threatening as they used to be. I don't care about Pat Mahomes' record in the AFC Championship game. I don't care about he's been to the AFC Championship game every year since starting. This is also the second straight road game he's going to be on in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He doesn't have no receivers. The Ravens' defense is legit. I think they can slow down Mahomes. They have no receivers to worry about. They can blitz the ever-living shit out of them.
Yeah.
They have nothing to fear with Patrick Mahomes this year.
And the Ravens have showcased, again, some of the best talent out there that they went up against in the regular season. I believe they went up against the Dolphins, the Niners for sure. Talent like that, offenses like that in the regular season, they dominated.
Yeah.
And they went up against a hot, fired up, and motivated Texans and C.J. Stroud, and they stopped them dead in their tracks right there and then.
Right.
So they could absolutely do the same thing against Mahomes and company. Yes, he doesn't have legit targets. Rashid Rice is very good. He's going to be very nice for Mahomes. But having a rookie as a number one is not exactly the best way to go against a Ravens defense.
No, not this Ravens defense.
Kelsey isn't as great.
He's up there in age.
He isn't as dominant, I should say.
Clearly has his mind on other things.
Yeah, the podcast, right?
No, not the podcast.
New Heights, man. Come on. It's
No.
a great listen.
No.
Him and Jason.
By the way, shout out to Jason Kelsey, man. What a character. What a player. What a legend. May his retirement be of the utmost joy, man.
Of course.
He was enjoying himself in Buffalo. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he was.
But
that was great to see.
yeah. And that game was good too.
Oh, dude. I mean, I was going berserk, and
Those games never disappoint.
I was going berserk as an NFL fan just watching it. Seeing the fake punt with DeMar Hamlin, which that was stupid. But then seeing the touchback happen, I'm like, oh my flipping Christ.
Yeah, I know.
What's going on here?
And we have 4 or 5 different lead changes.
Yeah. And they like back to back to back too.
Yeah.
Like consistent.
It was great. It was great football to watch. And
then seeing that type of game end in a wide right for the Bills again, like that
was a terrible ending.
And that's got to be very soul crushing for Bills Mafia.
Yeah. But they could have won that game.
Several times. There were several times where they could have taken the game. They could have got more points on the board. They could execute better.
And Josh Allen, he honestly, I'm not gonna lie, man, he had a very solid game. Now, the Bills, what I noticed while watching that game is they were very methodical.
Yes.
They were playing safe. They were using the ground game. They were killing the clock. They were tiring the Chiefs' defense.
I believe they had more time of possession.
Yeah, they did. And it worked.
Yeah.
They were going down the field. They were draining the clock. They were tiring the Chiefs' defense. They're getting points on the board. In fact, what they were doing most importantly is they were eliminating any risk of Josh Allen turning the ball over, which means they weren't throwing the ball down the field. But obviously, at some point in the game, when the Chiefs just kept scoring and you couldn't rely on the Bills' defense, they had to go.
Yeah.
And Allen did. He just couldn't rely on his targets. His targets failed him.
No, Diggs dropped a crucial deep
touchdown.
ball. I don't know how Diggs drops a pass like that.
Dude, it's one of the prettier deep balls out in that weather. How does Diggs drop that?
Yeah. And on that same drive, I think it was on one of the plays before the missed kick, Allen did underthrow Khalil Shakir in the end zone.
Yeah, so it's not just on Diggs, man. Diggs. You're right. Allen underthrew Shakir wide open in the end zone.
But I think that was like maybe the one play, although it did cost him. I think that was maybe the one negative play that Allen had all game. At least that's what I seen, because Josh Allen had a perfect postseason. I don't think he gave the ball up one time.
No.
Like, his turnovers were very crucial and evident throughout the regular season. Yeah, in the postseason, he doesn't turn the ball over one bit, but it still isn't enough for the Bills to advance.
No.
It's just not, because they just, especially against Kansas City, they just can't get the job done. Just something about going up against Kansas City, whether it's in Kansas City or Buffalo,
Yeah.
they just can't do it.
Yeah.
They can do it in the regular season. They've done it time and time again in the regular season. Postseason, forget about it.
Right.
And it's just crushing for the Bills, I'm sure.
It is, because they just can't get over that hump, and I don't think they ever will. I always say, man, if this was the sense with a lot of teams. If it's not this year, it never will be.
Yeah.
I feel that way with the Ravens. I felt that way with the Bills. I felt that way with the Cowboys, actually, and we all knew the Cowboys weren't doing it.
No. I mean, that's the easiest prediction every year. Let's be real.
Do you have that same feeling with the 49ers? Because Purdy is still young.
I mean, very.
And Kyle Shanahan has a phenomenal coaching tree. He can bring in anyone, and they'll be a mastermind of a coach to build that offense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they honestly, man, this is the prime time for the 49ers to strike. But you also got to think, man, that time is going to run out pretty shortly. Their window has been open for a couple years now, but it's going to be closing soon.
This is how many years straight did the Niners make it to the NFC Championship game? Or at least within Kyle Shanahan's stint as Niners coach. I know they've been there several times. They were there last year. I think the year before. Were they the year before that with the Rams?
I'll check that in a minute.
I think they were.
I think you're right.
And then they were there the previous year.
Last year, they lost to the Eagles in the conference. The year before that, they lost to the Rams. The year before not the year before that. The 2019, they lost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, the last 3 years, 2021, 2022, 2023, they've each went to the conference championship.
Yeah. It's just they just have not been able to
Get back.
Get back nor even win the Super Bowl.
No.
So, yeah, you can make the argument that their window is closing. You know, but Shanahan's a great coach. He just breeds talent. He knows how to coach talent. He knows how to breed coaches just as much. But
I want to say that because unlike the Bills, I don't think the window's closing fast.
But at the same time, there comes a time where Shanahan, if he's getting to the championship constantly and the Super Bowl here and there, but he's not winning it, when is he ever going to win it?
Yeah.
He's kind of in the same shoes as his father. Just a little bit. If you think about it.
No, I agree. But I don't know if they can. I don't know if they're gonna get to it. I don't think they're gonna do it this year.
You think Detroit pulls off the victory in San Fran on the road?
We are all honorary Lions fans. I'm rooting for the Lions. We all should. They deserve it. The fans deserve it. You seen what Dan Campbell has done with that team, man. The second he stepped in, the second he started talking on that microphone in his opening press conference, he said, "This place has been through a lot of shit.
Yes, it has.
But we're gonna change it. We're going to, when we get knocked down, we're gonna get back up, butt and kneecap while getting back. Like he lets you know that there will be change. And boy, did he fucking
live up to
exceed expectations.
Yes. In just his third year as the head coach.
They're going to the NFC Championship for the first time since '91.
Mm-hmm.
What a season for the Lions! I feel like if they look,
and it's a hell of a story.
It is. It's phenomenal. It's a feel good story,
and one that would be a very happy ending to this type of season.
It's only right. I feel like as NFL fans, you guys can maybe vouch for me, or you could feel differently. But I feel like as NFL fans, I feel like if the Lions lose, we all lose. We all want the Lions to win. Even Packers fans I'm seeing, even Vikings fans I'm seeing, they are rooting for the Lions. I can never root for a rival, but the Lions aren't a rival, so I'm going to root for the Lions.
Yeah. Tell you what,
they deserve it. And if they lose this Sunday versus the Niners, it's not terrible. It's a phenomenal season regardless. And they have a bright future ahead.
Big time.
And their Super Bowl window is only beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, can you imagine if they were able to keep this ride going, pull it off, and get to the Super Bowl? They've never been to one.
No, they haven't.
They're one of the few teams that have never been to one.
One of 4 teams that have yet to make it
to the
Super Bowl.
Browns, Texans, Lions, and what's the other team? I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
Viking?
No, we beat the Vikings.
That's right, Vikings, yeah. That was our first Super Bowl win. I couldn't tell you.
Browns?
I said Browns.
Oh, you
Browns,
did? Okay.
Texans.
Browns, Texans, Lions. Yeah, I can't think of it either.
I can't tell you. Maybe someone in the chat will tell us. But, I mean, they've never been to one. Can you imagine?
Yeah. It'd be a hell of a story.
It's incredible.
And as an NFL fan, it's an enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's a feel-good moment to see Campbell.
Chargers.
Chargers. Thank you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, tell me about it.
That makes a lot of sense.
But seeing what Campbell and him living up to his word and, you know, seeing his actions as a coach and seeing players like Goff and St. Brown, David Montgomery, Gibbs, Brian Branch, Aiden Hutchinson, you know, guys like that, you know, to change the culture and bring the Lions to this level of legitness.
Legitness.
Yes. It's a good watch. It's a fun watch.
Yeah, it is.
And if I had to pick a team, yes, I would have to agree. I would vouch for the Lions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But ultimately, as long as an NFC team wins the Super Bowl, I'm cool.
Yes,
because I don't want to see the Ravens win. I don't want to see the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, so I'm sorry. The chat's correcting. Chargers been in the Super Bowl against San Francisco. They lost. So it was the Jags.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Jags.
That makes more sense.
I couldn't even tell you the Chargers made it there. Okay, so Jags. So
Yeah.
Texans, Lions, Browns, and Jags.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. But the Lions, man, we're all rooting for them. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them. It just feels right. They have to win it all now. They have to. Otherwise, I mean, the AFC Championship, I couldn't care.
AFC? No.
I don't care. I'm so disengaged with it.
Because I know
no one wants to see the Chiefs again.
I know Taylor Swift's going to be at the game.
And I know,
you know for a fact she is.
And I don't want to see the Ravens advance.
No.
But I'm not going to lie to you. I think they will. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Pat Mahomes goes back to the Super Bowl. I don't want to see it, but I don't want to see the Ravens either. So, Pat Mahomes it is. Come on, Kermit. Let's go.
I'd rather see the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl. I just don't want them to win it.
Me neither.
Simple as that. And I want an overall NFC team to win the championship.
Yeah.
Win the Super Bowl.
Whether it's the Niners or whether it's the Lions.
We could get a Super Bowl rematch against the Niners and Chiefs.
I could see it. That was Mahomes' first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jimmy G was starting that game. He overthrew Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, oh my God.
Still a legend.
Wow. I forgot Jimmy G was a Super Bowl starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Now watch Brock Purdy take the reins over there. Mr. Irrelevant.
Hey, he didn't have a great game. I was not impressed with Brock Purdy.
What, against the Packers?
No, I was not impressed at all.
No.
Not at all.
And I remember the sideline reporter was mentioning how he had to like wear a glove because it was like wet and rainy in San Fran. Like he doesn't play well in the rain or something like that. Like some of his passes just weren't good and everything because of the rain. It was just something I was listening to while watching the game. Something that they were reporting.
I get it. But it's
like there were times he put a glove on, sometimes he didn't put a glove on. I know there was a highlight on X where during the snap, he was like drying his hands as the defenders are coming at him and stuff like that. So,
that does play an effect, especially someone that's not familiar with that type of playing weather. But I was not impressed with Brock Purdy.
That's where Purdy's really going to have to put on the performance I'm sure he was hoping to do so last year against Philly, but he got hurt. So
that's fair. He did get hurt.
You got to think that, that's a little bit of motivation
That's
for
a little
Purdy.
redemption story.
Yeah, redemption and motivation for Purdy to go out there and be like, this is what we should have done last year.
Yeah, but
I was just hurt.
Yeah, but the Lions aren't just letting this great season ride out and that's it. No, they're going to continue it.
Of course. You know they are.
So, I mean.
They are.
I ain't going to lie. The only thing I can think of throughout this entire discussion is after the Lions won, after they advanced to the conference championship, the only thing I could think of, and I remember watching it vividly, was Aiden Hutchinson soaking everything in. Fireworks going off, fucking Ford Field going wild, fans going crazy, reporters, players all around the field, and Aiden Hutchinson just in his own corner just soaking this all in because he was he's a Michigan native. He went to college there. He was a Lions fan growing up. He's just soaking all in.
He sat in those stands at Ford Field.
Yeah, you could just feel, you could sense, you could watch how important this is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes you want to root for him more, man.
Yeah.
Like, that is such an incredible moment captured on television.
Yeah.
It's just him soaking it all. And it's not all, I don't want it to end there.
No.
They're going all the way, and we're all rooting for it. So as long as the Lions or the Niners win, I think we all win this year. But it's got to be the Lions. It's got to be the Lions.
Imagine saying that 5 years ago.
I couldn't.
Right? Right when they had Matt Patricia as head coach. Man.
They've come from hell and back.
A long time ago from that.
They've come from hell and back. It sucks, man. Calvin leaves the team, and now they're going to the Super Bowl. Like, my man didn't even get close to this.
Yeah.
He went to the playoffs, what, once? Twice?
Twice with Stafford. Lost to Dallas, then lost to No, was he playing during that Seahawks game? I don't think he was.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
2015?
No, 2015 was Dallas.
2015 was it? Oh, yeah, it was. 2016, 17.
What was it?
2016.
17 or 18. That was the previous time Lions made the playoffs before this year.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. No, Barry Sanders can't even get them in. No. Barry Sanders is the greatest running back of all time. My goodness. It's crazy, man. They have legends. They have some of the greatest of all time at certain positions, but nothing to show for it. But now they got a lot to show for this year, so they got to end it. They got to end it the right way. Don't go here just to say, hey, great season. You got to go all the way now.
Yep.
Why make it to this point just fail?
Get to that finish line.
That's what you got to do, man. We're all rooting for it. What is it, Super Bowl 58 this year?
Is it that?
58, I think. Super Bowl 58.
I lost count. The Roman numeral numbers, I was never too good with those, so I kind of lost count.
Well, give us your guys' Super Bowl opinions. Give us your guys' Super Bowl predictions. What do you guys think is going to be the Super Bowl matchup? Is it going to be Lions-Ravens? Is it going to be Lions-Chiefs? Is it going to be Ravens-Niners again? Is it going to be Ravens-Lions? I mean, let us know. I personally think it's going to be Lions-Ravens. But a part of me does fear we're going to get Niners and Ravens again. To go with the fucking Super Bowl logo controversy.
I'm looking at the colors right here. The colors of the logo is it's more so purple, but around the V and the first one is red.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl controversy.
So we're looking at Ravens and Niners.
I don't want to see that.
We saw what happened in the regular season.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Ravens demolished the Niners.
I don't want to see that. I want Lions and Chiefs, but I think we'll get Lions-Ravens.
Yeah.
What's the chat saying? Chiefs versus Lions. Shut down Purdy. You win the game, says Victor. Exactly. Hoping for Lions-Ravens, but my cynical side says 49ers and Chiefs. Why do I just get a feeling we're going to get a Super Bowl matchup somewhere? Niners, Chiefs, Niners, Ravens.
You think we get a Super Bowl rematch?
That's what I fear.
Yeah.
I want the Lions. That's all I'm saying. Let me put it this way. If the Ravens lose and the Lions lose, at least it's not the Ravens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least it's not the Ravens.
Yeah.
But I want the Lions to win. KC versus San Fran. Chiefs versus Lions Super Bowl. Last thing I want is for San Fran to get a 6th Lombardi. I'm not worried about that. I used to be. I'm not. Dude, the Patriots already tied us. I know we don't want another team to tie us.
Yeah,
but
that would be a 3-way tie. But, I mean, it's like we already got the
tied.
Patriots right next to us. So it's like, hey, San Fran, you want to come along?
Cowboys ain't going to get there, so I ain't worried about them.
Yeah, really.
I mean, if Niners are going to do it, then just do it. I don't care about them tying us. I used to worry about stuff like that, but it is what it is now. Taylor Swift versus Eminem. Since when has it become a pop culture contest? God. Oh no. You know what I just thought of?
What?
They're probably going to get Taylor Swift to do the halftime show next year.
Oh, for the love of God. If the Chiefs make Super Bowl, what are the odds they make the announcement in stadium?
Probably.
Or she makes the announcement?
She's going to be there.
Well, no shit. Why wouldn't she?
As a matter of fact, man, I am so convinced that the NFL was rigged in certain ways. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs make it just so the NFL can shadow Taylor Swift being there.
I don't know.
They do that shit.
I know.
And you know damn well the NFL is going to get as many Mahomes versus Allen matchups as they can. They're going to stretch and milk the shit out of that. Any chance they can.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL has a little, shimmy to try to get Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl.
Has she?
Listen,
not like I care. Has she ever done this?
No.
Halftime show yet? She hasn't.
I don't think she
I'm
does.
actually surprised by that.
No. It's a ratings thing, viewers' ratings. That's all they care about.
I don't watch the halftime show. The only halftime show I'd seen was
Eminem.
that and Lopez and.
Everyone watched Lopez and Shakira.
Yeah, I mean that was the best halftime show I've seen.
I enjoyed it.
That was a damn good time watching.
I definitely rewatched that a time or two, but yeah, I enjoyed that
but
one.
But
for sure.
everything else, I couldn't give a rat's ass.
Eminem was great.
Eminem was good.
Usher will put on a good one, but he needs Lil Jon and he needs LL Cool J.
Yeah.
If they're not part of it, then it's a failure. I'm sorry. The Weeknd was great.
The Weeknd wasn't bad either. Going in, I didn't really care, but I sat down. I'm like, you know what? This ain't that bad.
The Weeknd was great. The NFL has low-key put on some banger halftime shows recently. They have. I just got a feeling they're gonna.
It's just hard for me. I don't like. Normally, I don't care.
I know you don't.
I really don't.
I know you don't.
A lot of it is the majority of it is today's pop culture, and I'm just not a fan of today's pop culture music.
I don't like it either.
I find it to be very
I
annoying.
listen to the classic shit.
Of course, yeah, of course the classic shit. Classics is the way to go. Because today's pop culture, just annoying.
That's why I was so invested in Eminem, because I grew up on it. I listen to him every day at work.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was so invested in Eminem. I wish they would go with some other bands or other musicians out there instead of just the modern people nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, Danny puts in the chat, Metallica needs a halftime show. They should have had a halftime show. How did they not get a halftime show? I feel like they could.
Did AC/DC ever do one?
No.
Man, they dropped. They don't do music no more, do they?
I couldn't tell you.
They dropped the ball.
AC/DC was way back then.
Yeah,
though.
I know, but still, like around that time would have been epic.
Well, they had MJ, they had Prince, they had guys like that in the right time, right? Janet Jackson.
Yeah, who can forget Janet Jackson?
Yeah.
Who can forget Janet Jackson?
Yeah, Aerosmith did one.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake did 2 of them, but people only remember the first one.
He did a second one?
Yeah.
When?
It's a couple years ago.
I don't remember.
I forget what Super Bowl was, but he did one a couple years ago. No one remembers that one. They only remember the one he did with Janet Jackson. I agree. The music should be universal. No, Matt Canada. No. What's his halftime show going to be? Blame Canada? I'll do that for you. I'll do it for you.
Just get the South Park song on soundbite.
But me personally, I feel like they could. I feel like the NFL, and I know they're not going to, because I've noticed there's been a change of taste, a change of flavor, I suppose, in the music culture nowadays, especially in sports. Everything's more, like hip hop or pop or stuff like that related, and there's nothing wrong with that. I listen to it. I listen to a little bit of everything, as a matter of fact. So I have no personal preference. I have nothing against certain, music genres. I listen to all of it.
Yeah.
I just think that they could definitely put their hand back into like the rock and roll or the metal and stuff like that. Bring that back into the scene, because that's just what I would like to see out there.
Right.
I think a band like that would be really like a Metallica, Me personally, I'm a fan of Creed. Just saying. I know they did a halftime show for Thanksgiving years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. I know they're never going to do it, though. They're going to stick with the modern pop culture, modern level moneymakers, which is fine.
Right.
I mean, that's what the NFL is going to do.
Well, that's what they're going to do, because that's the business side of things.
Yeah.
And that's what gets them the most income, viewership, and the money just coming right in.
I mean, who was last year? Was it last year Rihanna?
Was it? Yes. It was Rihanna.
Rihanna did a decent one, even though she was pregnant.
She was pregnant, and everybody's seen it.
Everyone's seen it, yeah.
You could tell. And she admitted it, too.
Yeah.
So
Bruno Mars and Red Hot Chili Peppers was okay. Yeah, I wasn't that crazy on it. Katy Perry's was solid. Did Lady Gaga ever do one? I know she did the national anthem for Super Bowl 50.
Yeah, I think 51 she did it.
You might be right.
I think she did.
I'm not.
I can't remember
familiar.
what song she did, though. Did she do Firework? I can't remember.
No, that's Katy Perry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's Katy Perry.
So it goes to show
I know.
whatever.
I know. Maroon 5 and Travis Scott, they could have kept.
Oh, wasn't Applause?
Yes, that's her.
Yeah,
Applause,
that's what
her.
I was thinking of.
Yeah,
My
Dr.
bad.
Dre did one. Yeah, it was Dr. Dre, it was Snoop, it was Eminem, and there were a couple others in there. That was the year the Rams won the Super Bowl versus the Bengals. That was a great one. I think Whitney Houston did one. That had been a while back. I know Prince did one. Michael Jackson did one.
Yeah.
They did, what's the other one? It was the one for Super Bowl 43.
Who did that one? Crap. I can't remember.
I forget. That's going to bug the shit out of me.
Here. I got
He had an album called Born in the USA in the 80s, dude. What was his name?
It wasn't Bruce Springsteen, was it?
Yeah.
Bruce
that's who it was.
Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Yeah. There you go, Bruce Springsteen. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the list of Super Bowl halftime shows.
Yeah, go ahead and name them.
I'm gonna start with the. You want to start with the 70s or 80s?
Wait, what?
They got like.
Start with like the 90s, bro.
Okay, good. If I can. Former for. Can I just find one that I'm familiar with?
Yes, just keep finding. So
Michael Jackson was Super Bowl. What Super Bowl was that?
27.
Yeah, Super Bowl 27. Diana Rose was Super Bowl 30. The Blues Brothers was Super Bowl 31.
Wasn't ZZ Top part of that?
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Phil Collins did the first Super Bowl of 2000.
That was when the Ravens won.
Yeah. Then was Aerosmith the year afterward with NSYNC.
Aerosmith's a great band.
With NSYNC. Is that where the moment happened? No, it wasn't. No.
What?
No, my bad. I'm thinking way ahead.
No.
Well, Shania Twain did.
Shania Twain did one?
Yeah, she did.
That's news to me. Wow, I totally didn't know that she did one.
Shania
she
Twain
was
did
popular
one.
back then.
Yeah, I can see why.
Not just for her voice.
I can
just
see
saying.
why.
Just saying.
Yeah,
she was a smoke show back in the day.
Janet Jackson with Nelly, Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake, Jessica Simpson. That was a big one. That was Super Bowl 38.
Paul McCartney.
Super Bowl 40 was the Rolling Stones. 41 was Prince. 42 was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. 43 was Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
Michael Jackson is the king of pop. That will never change.
45 was the Black Eyed Peas. I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Madonna was the year after in 46. Beyonce was 47.
I remember Beyonce.
48, Bruno Mars. 49,
Remember that.
Katy Perry.
Yeah, I remember that. Was with the fucking left shark or whatever it was.
Yeah. 51 was Lady Gaga. So that was the year after she did the national anthem for Super Bowl 50.
Yeah.
52, Justin Timberlake. 53 was Maroon 5. Then
Goddamn Black Eyed Peas. Probably.
54 was Shakira and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. That's my favorite one.
Weekend was the year after. Then Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J.
Kendrick
Bling,
Lamar. That's the other one.
Kendrick Lamar. Rihanna was last year. Now is Usher.
Now, next year will probably be Taylor Swift. It could be, who else could they put up there? I'll tell you who they won't put up there.
Who? Tell me.
Nicki Minaj. You kidding with her vocal ass shit?
Or what's that other
Megan
one?
Thee Stallion.
Yeah, thank you. Or Ice
Spice.
Spice.
They're all famous for one reason.
Yes.
And I have I respectfully, I have no problem with that. Kanye. I don't know if they put Kanye up there. Cardi B, they're definitely not putting Cardi B up there.
No, they're not.
I'd like to see a Post Malone, man. A lot of people.
What about
a lot of people say he fell off. I don't think so.
No, I don't think Posty.
I'd love to see a Posty halftime show.
What about Bad Bunny? I think he's
Bad
up there.
Bunny's a big market.
I think he'd be up there.
Bad Bunny's a big market.
I don't know why they wouldn't go out there and try to get him to do one.
I can see Bad Bunny.
He's a big he's a big guy.
Jelly Roll?
Oh no.
Jelly Roll. Nah, hard pass.
I'm not a fan of Jelly
Doja
Roll.
Cat? Hard pass. Drake? I could see that. I'm surprised he hasn't done one yet.
Yeah, he hasn't done one yet. Iggy?
They have plenty of options.
Iggy
Man.
Azalea?
They have plenty of options out there, man. Wouldn't it be cool if AC/DC did a halftime show? It would be, man. Chris Brown, they're definitely not putting Chris Brown up there. They're definitely not putting Celine Dion, they are not putting Miss Titanic up there. They're not. I know she has other great songs outside that. They're not putting Celine Dion up there. No. They're not. They're not.
No, I can picture it where, it starts to get high pitched and everything, and that moment of the Titanic song, and she's like rising and everything.
Yeah, I know.
Like waves are going through with like lighting or whatnot.
Yeah, they have fucking choreography and they be reenacting the scene.
Yeah.
They have LEDs with the fucking stars in the sky and
Yeah.
the water. We all seen it.
Oh man.
Little baby, I could see it.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
What's that one band? Hold on. Why can't I think of the name? Dragon?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
What? Dragon's in the name.
Imaginary Dragon. Imagine Dragon.
Yeah, Imagine Dragon. I'm surprised they haven't done one yet. They could be a candidate.
Could be.
Marshmello? Are you kidding me?
No. No. Absolutely not. Does anyone even listen to Marshmello?
I don't. I can't name you one song.
Yeah, Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
Gabby Barrett? I mean, they could touch into that. I could see it. Wu-Tang Clan? That's not happening. That's not happening. I'd love to see it, though. I like to see one of them old school bands, man, get in there. I think it'd be really cool. I think a lot of people get behind it, man. I think they really would. I doubt they do it. They're gonna go with the modern touches.
Yeah.
But I'd love for them to go with like an old school band, you know, that a lot of people grew up with, myself included.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really, really cool. No genre specific, but I mean they could pick anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised. Guns N' Roses had to do one.
No, they didn't.
They had to.
I don't think they did one. Ozzy Osbourne didn't do one. I don't think he did one.
Well, Black Sabbath definitely didn't do one.
No.
And Ozzy's too old.
Well, yeah, of
He has
course.
health issues.
I don't think he's singing anymore.
Guns N' Roses had to have done a halftime show. Unless I'm wrong. Please tell me they did one.
I don't believe they did.
LL Cool J. LL Cool J only with Usher this year. I mean, he can do his own separate, but I don't think he's going to do that. But he should be with Usher this year.
Yeah.
Twins, for the first time in a long time, shows are getting real change. This is good. Keep up the great work, says Ryan, Lake Tahoe. I think so. I hope so, man. You know, from what they're directing and what they've been saying, what they've been targeting, it seems that way.
Yeah.
So
Let's just hope they strike for real.
yeah, Ryan, I hope you're right. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to remain hopeful. Busta Rhymes, Bus is not getting back up on stage.
No.
Not in that shape. Not in that shape. Kiss, T-Pain. Kiss is too old, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Kiss obviously has some great hits. Would LL get back on stage? I don't know if he's still making music. Lil Wayne? Maybe. I mean,
Only if the Packers are playing, probably. But then again, like, it's not predetermined.
50 Cent. I love to see a 50 Cent halftime show. Love to see 50 Cent halftime show. There's certain songs you can't play on there, but I love to see a 50 Cent halftime show. I'd mark for that.
Yeah.
Love to see 50 up there. I like the Drake and Future idea. Will Smith.
Yeah, he can sing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I know he did. He didn't do just that.
I know he didn't, but that's where it all started.
That's not. Bon Jovi would be good. How Bon Jovi not got a halftime show? Bon Jovi's fucking great.
I don't know. AC/DC, Metallica, Bon Jovi,
Guns
N' Roses, like, wow. Like, especially around that time,
Yeah.
like, that would have been a big hit. But, I guess others came first.
Travis Scott. Yeah, I can see that. I can absolutely see Travis Scott. He's got a huge following. I could see it.
Yeah.
Megadeth, The Police, 9 Inch Nails. Shit, I haven't heard that in a while. I haven't heard that one in a fucking while, man. Son of a bitch. Hey, there's always options. There's always options, man. Chris Rock would slap Will Smith on stage this time. Yeah, that would have to happen. Lil Nas, X, I doubt they could put Lil Nas up there.
No, I don't think they're going to do that.
They're definitely not putting him up there. Not X. Not X. They're not putting him up there. No. I mean, he does have a following. I could see it. He's just a little out there.
Mm.
So, I mean, hey, I don't know. They always got endless options. It's just a matter of who they want to pay the portion out. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah. How did they not get one? They were great back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, they lost some members, but that's how they not get one. That's just unfortunate. They were popular back then, man. Very popular.
Mm-hmm.
So, otherwise, it's almost midnight, man. It's almost It's only Tuesday, going on Wednesday.
Yeah.
God, man, it's already.
It's just Tuesday.
It's not even midway through the week yet, man. It's not even midway through the week. Tyler the Creator? Nah, they ain't putting him up there. They ain't putting Tyler the Creator up there. It might be, it'll probably be some shit band. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. No one wants Miley Cyrus up there.
No.
Can you imagine her doing Wrecking Ball? No. Not happening.
Yeah, Hannah Montana.
I don't even care if she does her early shit. That's not happening. Not at all. But Outkast. Outkast would be great. Outkast would be fucking great.
Yep.
I don't listen to a lot of them, but they'd be great. Are they still doing music though?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, man. I haven't listened to them in a while, man. Holy shit, that takes me back. I know they came back, was it like a decade ago or something? Are they still doing music? They probably on tour.
They'll do tours. Just I don't know if they've released any new songs out there.
No, they're probably doing like farewell tours or something. A lot of bands are doing that actually.
ZZ Top.
ZZ Top, yeah.
Yeah.
ZZ Top was popular back then too. And tell you, hey, if they want to go with like an old school band, and I don't mean to call them old school, but I mean they were very popular back then. I mean, if they want to go in the nostalgia factor, they absolutely can. A lot of people would vouch for it. I mean, I'm all for the older classics. So
yep,
I don't mind the new stuff. I don't listen to a lot of it, but I mean, I'm never gonna say no to the classics. That's why I listen to them, man.
Yeah.
Like on my playlist, you'll rarely find anything new. Rarely. It's always the older stuff.
Yeah, it's always a nostalgic type of music.
Yeah.
80s rock and roll and some
all kinds of stuff. It's a little bit of everything out there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ludacris, yeah. Ludacris, yeah, absolutely. I think he's a bigger actor now than he was an artist.
Someone said Styx.
Styx.
Yeah.
I love Styx.
Imagine Renegade playing.
Oh, no, only when the Steelers make it, but then that would already...
Again, it's not predetermined.
No, but the script writers.
Or is it? Yeah.
The script writers, man. Hey, it can
I
happen.
mean, look at Super Bowl colors, bro. Like,
It could happen. It could happen.
Come on, man.
could
What's
happen.
the Super Bowl colors for next year? Let's take a look.
Did they reveal the logo?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, do they do it before
I don't
the
know.
previous year?
Did they reveal Super Bowl 59? I think is next year.
Yeah, hold on. Give it a minute. Thank you.
They definitely didn't release the logo.
No.
No, they
It'll be
released the
held
logo.
at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to microscope what the fucking logo is. See if there's any extra
There's
controversy.
hidden meaning.
Yeah. Wiz Khalifa, I can absolutely see him getting one though. Wiz Khalifa seems like one of those more popular ones.
Yeah.
I could definitely see it. I mean, he has so many hits to play. So, one of my favorites was Tom Petty. Tom Petty, yeah. Again, I mean, there's so many greats that I feel like they should have had them, but they didn't for one reason or another.
Some of them, you know, their time has gone and passed. It might just be too late.
And some, I mean, hey, there's still years for it.
Yeah, it's true.
So I mean, anything is possible. But all we know is Usher's getting it this year, and I have a feeling Taylor Swift's going to get it next year, unfortunately. And if that's the case, you can damn well guarantee that the Chiefs will be in the Super Bowl next year. You can bet money on it.
And the Swifties are going to be watching football again.
My God. Anyway, we're getting out of
What's
here.
a field goal? I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to get into that discussion.
Yeah, I know.
I'll get into something more crazy. All I'll say at the end of this, Nelly will be great. All I'll say at the end of this is I don't care that she's at the game, okay? She can support Travis. She can support the Chiefs. I don't care, okay? Does the NFL have to shove it down our throats every time?
Kelsey makes a grab. It could be a no gainer, and they'll show Swift. You know how many times they did that during the Bills game?
I know.
Oh my God, I wanted to punch my
Dude,
TV.
like, again, be there all you want. Just don't shove it down our throats, okay? It's we don't want to see that.
I don't want to see Brittany and Taylor annoyingly.
I don't see Simone Biles on television when her husband of the Packers is doing shit. Like,
yeah,
it's just stupid.
It's just uncalled for.
It's stupid. It's really stupid. All right, we're gonna get on out of here, man. So Jason Kelsey, that's his brother. He's a former player. Like that's perfect. I feel like Jason Kelsey has a career in broadcasting.
Oh, I absolutely see it.
Or like analyst somewhere.
I 100% see it.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I think it's gonna happen. That'd be perfect. Maybe he'll make a great coach somewhere. Who knows? But yeah, we're gonna get on out of here, man. We're gonna Tony Romo, Jessica Simpson type. hey, Tony Romo was never the same. Never the same.
No.
It seemed like, hey, I'll say this about Tony Romo real quick. It seemed like anytime he had a girlfriend is when he really started playing like shit. And when he didn't have one, he started playing like Tony Romo, of course, before he got hurt. And he's very, very excruciating to listen to now. I used to enjoy him when he first started. God, I can't stand him no more. He's like, oh, well, not many players can make a throw like that. I'm like, everyone can make a fucking throw like that.
Yeah, they just choose not to.
Like,
simple as that.
It's so stupid. Anyway, yeah, we're going to get on out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Appreciate you guys for joining us tonight on episode 42 of the Steelers Culture Podcast, discussing all the Steelers coaching news that came out today. So thank you guys for that. Otherwise, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Make it a strong one. I know we're only halfway through there, barely. But, hey, sooner or later it'll be the weekend. And we can enjoy a nice weekend, enjoy more playoffs, conference Sunday, so it'll be fun. So just get through this week, and we'll have more content out for you guys, man. We want to touch on some other things regarding the Steelers, including I'll give you guys some spoilers, including grading the rookies this year. We'll grade their individual rookie years, and definitely talking about the salary cap issue. We got a lot we want to get into that for sure down the line. So we'll see what more news breaks for the Steelers in terms of their coaching and their OC search, and keep the eye out on some content coming up later this week and the upcoming weeks, man. So appreciate you guys, and you guys enjoy the rest of your night, enjoy the rest of your week. And yes, young boy, go Lions all the way. Let's go Lions. See you guys later.
As always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!
All right, Steelers, really? You're bringing back Pat Meyer? Come on. Talk about taking an L.